know who I am, my name is Emily, and I am an instructor for Summit Climbing Yoga and Fitness at both the Plano Gym and then the Fort Worth Gym. And then I do yoga teacher training at all the gyms, and I do the social media for the yoga program, and I basically lived at Summit before everything was closed, so all involved. For today's practice, we are going to do an all levels flow, so this will be friendly for every type of yogi, beginner, advanced, whatever, anything in between. And for today, the only thing that you're going to need is just a mat and some floor space. If you don't happen to have a mat, then just some floor space and maybe a towel or something to lay down will work just fine for you. So once you have that, go ahead and set yourself up, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Once you're on your mat, bring your knees the width of your mat, big toes touch behind you. Start to reach the fingers forward. Roll your shoulders back and down your spine. Press your forehead into the mat, and we'll start to breathe. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Big open mouth exhale. Another deep inhale through the nose. Big open mouth exhale. And continue breathing at your own pace. But on your next exhale, seal the lips halfway through to create an ocean wave sound in the back of your throat. This is our Ujjayi Pranayama, our victorious breath. We use this breath throughout our practice to warm the muscles. If at any point during your practice you lose sight of your breath, you can come down to a child's pose and rejoin when you're ready. Right. On your next breath in, shift forward into your palms, finding a tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips over knees, and begin to move through cat and cow. So as you inhale, cow pose, belly dips low, gaze up. And as you exhale, cat pose, round your spine, look towards your thighs. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. And continue moving with the tempo of your breath. Adding anything that feels good or necessary. You can rock the hips side to side. You can shift back over the heels. Or create wide circles with the torso. Just kind of getting a little bit of free-form movement in here. And on your next breath, we'll find stillness. So we're going to start to cultivate strength for today's practice. As you breathe in, extend the right foot back behind you. Start to float your right leg. Press into your palms. Push down so that your shoulders round forward, and then rotate your right hip in line with your left. Extend your left arm out in front of you for counterbalance. Take a big breath in. Exhale, crunch, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend once more. As you exhale, shift your limbs in opposite directions. So right leg out to the right side, left arm out to the left side, and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Set your right foot down on the outside of your mat. Walk your hands up the left thigh. All right, so we're setting up for a gatekeeper pose. As you breathe in, arms reach overhead. And as you exhale, right hand comes down, left arm comes overhead. Keep rotating your left shoulder back to open your chest. Squeeze the glutes to press your hips slightly forward. All right, inhale, arms lift. And as you exhale, left hand comes down, right arm extends overhead. Same thing here, roll the right shoulder back, squeeze your glutes to press your hips forward. And if it feels good, you can take some arm circles here. It's a really good way to loosen everything up. All right, and just to have a little bit of fun, go Go ahead and bring that right arm back up towards the sky. Walk your left hand forward so it's directly under your left shoulder, and then see if you can float your right leg. So modified side plank here. Big breath in, and exhale, right foot comes down. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, hands come underneath the shoulders. Inhale to lift your chest. Stick your tailbone up. So think cow back here. As you exhale, sink back over your left heel. Sit on your left heel. Rotate your right toes up, and then reach your arms as far forward as you can. Relax your chest. I like to call this pose wild child. Looks just like child's pose, but one leg doesn't want to listen to the rules. As you inhale, shift back into your palms. Pick up the right leg, swing it back and down, tabletop. So we're gonna move to the other side now. Extend your left foot behind you, point the toes. Press into your palms to round your shoulders. Rotate your left hip in line with the right. And then reach the right arm forward for counterbalance. Okay, so press into the top of your right shin. If you took class yesterday, we talked a lot about how to find our balance. Find that counterbalance here by pushing equally into your left hand and your right shin. Big breath in. Exhale, crunch, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend once more. As you exhale, shift your limbs in opposite directions. You can always bend your elbows and your knee if this is way too much intensity for you right now. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Set your left foot down on the outside of your mat. So make a really wide stance. Your right shin stays straight back, then walk your hands up the right thigh. So we're coming into a gatekeeper pose setup. As you breathe in, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, take your left hand down and your right arm up and over. Inhale, arms lift. And as you exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward. Pull the left shoulder back. You're welcome to take those nice wide arm circles if you'd like. All right. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Walk your right hand slightly forward. We're setting up for that modified side plank, so float your left leg. Either flex or point the left toes to keep balance. One more breath in here. And set the left foot down. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands come down to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest, think cow back. So you're sticking your tailbone up and making a big arch in the back. Start to sink back over your right heel. Sit on the right heel. Bring your left toes up, then reach your arms forward. Bring your forehead down to the mat. You can tuck your chin. All right, as you inhale, shift forward into your palms. Float the left leg. Bring it back and down, tabletop. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to tuck the toes, lift your knees to hover about an inch above the floor. Push into your palms, round your shoulders forward. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Shift back, downward facing dog. And this downward facing dog, you can take a moment, pedal at the feet. Bending the right knee, then the left. Warming up the hamstrings. Tucking and untucking the toes as you see fit. On your next breath, find stillness. Look forward. Exhale, step through to forward fold. Heel toe the feet about hip width distance. Grab opposite elbows, tiny bend in your knees. Chin to chest, rock side to side. ragdoll all the way tips forward into your toes. Remove any wrinkles in the back of your neck. Let your head hang heavy as you sway. Alright, go ahead and release your fingertips down to the floor. Heel toe the feet to touch, big toes press, small space between your heels. Slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time, your chin coming last. As you inhale, arms reach overhead. And exhale, Samastitihi. Tilt your chin and shut down the eyes. At this point in class, I'd like to give you a moment to set an intention for your practice. This could be a person, place, thing, or idea that you focus on as you move. If you don't have an intention of your own, I offer you this. There is a silver lining to be found in every situation. You just have to look. We'll seal our intention with a deep inhale. Exhale, share with the world. Gently flutter open the eyes. We'll begin with our sun salutation. So as you breathe in, reach the arms overhead. Begin to create an active pose by pressing down through the heels. Tuck your tailbone to the floor, pull the belly in and up towards the ribs. Fingers reach really high, shoulders roll low. Big breath in. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. On your next inhale, find halfway lift, create a flat back. You can press your palms against your shins. As you exhale, plant the palms, step back to high plank and pause. You can always lower your knees down if you need to. Keep your core really strong, keep your shoulders slightly rounded forward. As you breathe in, shift over the fingers. Exhale, bend the elbows 90 degrees, low plank. Don't let your chest pass the bend of your elbows. Inhale to upward facing dog, lift your chest. Exhale to downward facing dog, lift your hips. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, step to forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. And as you exhale, Samastitihi. Alright, so we're going to move through twice, breath to movement. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, plant the palms. Shift forward. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale, Samastitihi. Last round through. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale, Samastitihi. Go ahead and tilt the chin, shut down the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Big open mouth exhale. Gently flutter the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, sink back into a chair pose. Alright, so in this chair pose, I want you to squeeze the inner thighs together, keep a small lift in your chest, sink as low as you can. Alright, so we're going to borrow a little flow from my dear friend Jenna Clark. I'm sure some of you know her, she's lovely. And she does this really good hip opening sequence that we're going to do. So from this chair, cross your arms in front of one another. So right arm in front of the left. Alright, so once you have your hands on your knees, as you inhale, we're going to slowly lift the arms up. Bring your right knee with you. Alright, lift all the way overhead. And as you exhale, this is where the tricky part comes in. Stick your right leg out to the right side and both hands go over to the left. Kind of like you're making a diagonal line with the body. Inhale, right knee back to center. And exhale, cross the arms, left arm on top this time. Okay, inhale, slowly float up, bring your left knee with you, arms overhead. As you exhale, send your left foot out to the side, right arms out to the right side. You might get a hip pop. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down, right over left. We're gonna do that one more time each side. Inhale the right knee up. Exhale, off to the side. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, down to chair, left arm's in front. Inhale, left arm lifts up. Exhale, off to the side. Inhale, lift, and lower down. Inhale the arms back to chair pose. And exhale, hands through forward fold. Inhale takes you to halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, plant the palms. Shift forward, inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip, make big circles here, nice and wide. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Beautiful, go ahead and spin the back heel full 90 degrees. Inhale straight into warrior two. In this warrior two, pressing into the outer edges of both feet. You've got a 90-degree bend in your front right knee, and then pinch your shoulder blades together to open your chest. Keep sinking into that right knee to feel a stretch in the inner thighs. Okay. As you inhale, flip your top hand, shift forward and up, reverse warrior. Keep bending into the right knee. Option to wrap your left arm around your low spine. One more breath in. Exhale. We're going to move into something called dancing warrior. So right hand to the left hip. Left arm reaches up. Switch the bend of your knee. Straighten your right leg. Left knee bends forward. Pop your right toes up. Come down. Sink as low as your body will allow. And then in this shape, I want you to set your palms down onto the mat. Okay, so you can keep your right heel lifted if you'd like. Keep sinking your hips down as low as you can. If you're able, we'll move into something called Skandasana. So you let your hips drop all the way to the mat. And you can bring your hands to heart center. All right, so in this Skandasana, you should feel a stretch in the inner right thigh. If this is too much for your body, keep the palms down and rotate the sole of your foot to the mat by pointing your toes forward or in the direction your chest is. Beautiful job. All right, from this Skandasana, we're going to lift back into reverse warrior. So it's a really weird action. If you brought the sole of your right foot down, lift your toes. Start to reach the right arm up, bend into the right knee, right arm overhead. And then as you exhale, we're gonna set up for triangle pose. So, tee out the arms, straighten your right leg. You can adjust your stance if it got a little wonky. Sass your left hip back, reach the right arm forward. Tick-tock your palms to 6 and 12 o'clock. Okay, so arms are straight up and down. We're trying to find a stretch in the front of the hips, so don't worry so much about touching the ground. Worry about squeezing your right glute to press your hips forward and pull that left shoulder back a little bit. So for me right now, my hands are hovering quite high above the ground, and that's okay. I feel this in my hip flexors, and that's really all I'm focusing on. All right. Inhale to a star pose now. Turn your right toes to face the side of your mat. And as you exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Bring the palms down. All right, in this wide-legged forward fold, if you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows. You can just kind of rock your hips side to side. Whatever feels good, we're gonna hang out here for a few breaths. My personal favorite shape is take your peace fingers, pointer and middle fingers, wrap around your big toes, lift your chest, and then bow the elbows out, pulling your chest down. So we're going to work our way into a Ardha Chandrasana or half moon today. So you really want open hips and a lot of balance. If you want to test your balance, turn your fingers to face behind you. Walk your hands back as far as you can and tip the weight into your toes. All right, bring hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift your chest. We're almost done. This is a wonky one today because we want to get into those hips. Walk your hands over to the left foot. We're coming back into Skandasana. So I want you to bend your left knee forward. Start to sink your hips down. Now again, you can keep the sole of your right foot grounded. If you liked that deeper variation the first time, rotate your right toes up, sink your hips really low. Hands can come to heart center. Try to lift your chest a little bit. All right. So finishing out, bring your hands back to the mat. Stay on the inside of your right leg. Crawl into lizard pose. So we're bringing our hands towards the right foot. Rotate your chest towards the front of your mat. Pick up your left heel. Bend the right knee. Drop your left knee and untuck your left toes. Okay, so we're setting up into a lizard pose. Now your right foot is in the top right corner. Your hands are pressing down on the inside of your right leg. Breathe in to lift your chest. As you exhale, rotate to the pinky toe side of your right foot. Bend the elbows and lower down. Keep lowering your chest. Keep breathing. Alright, on your next inhale, press your palms into the mat, lift up, rotate your right knee back up towards the sky. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. We're coming into a yogi squat. So, sink your hips as low as you can comfortably while keeping the soles of your feet grounded. Doesn't matter if it's all the way up here or all the way down here. You may notice there's a difference already between right and left. That's okay, we're gonna fix that in just a second. For now, hands are at heart center. Press your elbows into your knees to open your hips, and then try to lift your chest. All right, one more breath here. Bring your hands down to the mat. Keep your hands grounded as long as you can. Start to round the spine up and slowly straighten the legs. Heel toe the feet to touch. Big toes press, small space between the heels. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Gaze up at your thumb. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale, arms reach. And release down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, plant those palms. Shift forward, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Bend your knee, open your hip, make big circles here. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Low lunge. All right, immediately spin that back heel 90 degrees. Inhale, warrior two. Okay, so we're back in the same shape. 90-degree bend in your front left knee. Press into the outer edges of both feet. Pinch the shoulder blades together to open your chest. As you breathe in, flip the top hand, shift forward and up, reversed warrior. Keep bending into the left knee, reach that left arm overhead. See if you can wrap your right arm around your low spine if it's in your practice. One more breath in. As you exhale, take your left hand to the right hip, right arm to the sky. We're coming into that dancing warrior. Straighten the left leg, pop your toes up, bend your right knee out. So feel that really juicy stretch in the inside of your left thigh. And from here, hands down to the mat. So we're coming into our first Skandasana. If you want, you can rotate this left foot to the mat and keep your hands grounded. If you don't need that, keep the left toes up and sink your hips really low. Very nice. In your Skandasana, you can keep your palms grounded, hands at heart center. Take any of the other arm variations you may know, whatever's floating your boat. We're trying to really get into the inner thighs today. All right, so here's where the tricky part comes in. We're gonna make our way back into a reverse warrior. So if you want to prep yourself, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Keep your left toes pointed up. Inhale, sweep the left arm high. Set the left foot down. As you exhale, we're going to set up for triangle pose, Trikonasana. So straighten out the left leg, tee out the arms. You can adjust your feet if you need to. Sass the hips back, reach forward, tuck your palms to 6 and 12 o'clock. All right, so same kind of jive here. We're focusing on the front part of the hips, so you don't have to touch the ground. Squeeze your left glute forward, pull your right shoulder back. This will cause you to lift your chest a little higher, that's okay. As long as you feel it right through here, that's what matters. This is a really good pose to get acquainted with your own spine, as silly as that sounds. All right, as you inhale, rise up to star pose. This time, turn your toes out, heels in, so kind of pigeon toe the feet. As you exhale, we're going down into a goddess squat. So cactus out the elbows. You can take a minute, just kind of rock side to side. It'll look like a jig. Hands can be on your hips or out to the side, wherever you need them to be. And then on your next breath, lower your hands to the inner thighs. Start by straightening out the right arm, look over your left shoulder. And as you inhale, chest to center. Straighten out the left arm, look over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Reach back into star, turn your toes forward, arms up. And exhale, release down, wide-legged forward fold. So we're gonna make our way into Skandasana again. Crawl your hands towards the right foot. Bend your right knee towards the direction your chest is facing. If you want to move into that deeper variation, left toes come up, hips go down. Hands can come to your heart. All right, keeping your arms on the inside of your left leg, we're gonna crawl our way into lizard pose. So set the palms down, crawl forward, start to pick up your right heel, and then drop your right knee, untuck the right toes. Okay, so your left foot's in the top left corner here. Both palms are on the inside of the left leg. Breathe in to lift your chest. And as you exhale, rotate to the pinky toe side of your left foot and lower your chest down. We're just gonna hang out here for a few breaths. Allow this stretch to get into your hip joints. All right, on your next breath in, press your palms into the ground, lift your chest. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. It's Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. We're back in our yogi squat, our malasana. So, hands at heart center. Press your elbows into your knees and keep a small lift in your hips so that you're not losing the activation of this pose. If you want to get a little wider this time, you can press one fist, maybe both fists together, and this will widen your hips just a little bit more. All right, and on your next breath, just go ahead and plop down to a seat. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide like butterfly wings. We're going to do a couple ground stretches before we hop back up and try our half moon pose. So take your hands behind your hips, scoot your hips as close to your heels as you can. Interlace your fingers around your toes. Breathe in to lift your chest, and as you exhale, hinge the elbows back as your chest comes forward. If you need a little extra here, you can extend the arms out in front of you and really actively push your knees down. If you feel your knees kind of popping up, press your elbows into your knees, and that'll help lower them down towards the mat. Pose that we're going to work on is called a baby turtle pose. So scoot the heels slightly forward, lift your knees up, and then take your arms under your shins, under your calves, until the crooks of your elbows is under your calf muscles. If this is not comfortable, you'll just do bound angle for a little bit longer. Once you have your hands placed, let your knees fall. This will round your spine over, lower your chest. Slowly lift, unravel the arms. Alright, from here, you're going to keep a bend into the right knee. Send your left leg out to the left side. Pull your right heel close in towards the hips. And then take your left arm to the inside of your left leg. Pull the right shoulder back. Reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, hands come down. Stretch the arms forward. Just kind of pancake your chest down to the floor. And slowly lift. We're going to switch to the other side. Right foot goes out. Left heel pulls in. Take your right arm to the inside of your right leg. Pull your left shoulder back. Left arm is up and over. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hands lower down. Extend the arms forward. Next breath, slowly lift. This time we're going to do both legs out at the same time. Hands behind your hips, scoot your hips forward. Open your legs as wide as you can, comfortably. If this is weird for you, take a moment, go grab some pillows to stick under your knees, or you can decrease the angle. Keep your chest lifted to start. Lower down as far as you can with a lifted chest. And then once you've kind of found that stopping point, you can just hang out, maybe even reaching the arms further in front of you. So try to come as close to a full pancake as you can. All that means is your body's flat. That does not have to be a today thing. We're just trying to open up the inner thighs as much as we can. begin to slowly lift up. Pull your legs towards one another. Bend into your knees and just take a moment to windshield wiper side to side. All right, on your next breath, cross over the ankles, flip forward into your palm. We're back in our tabletop. Okay, so before we get up into the air, we're going to practice half moon on the ground, and we're going to do a modified version of this half moon. So, starting on the right side, we're going to step this left foot back to the back of the mat and rotate your left foot so you have it at a 90-degree angle from the right foot, okay? Try to keep your shin lined up with your left heel if you can. Keep your right palm down on the mat in line with your right knee, and then reach your left arm up towards the sky. Okay, so this is a really wonky variation of a side plank basically. If this is too much balance, you can swing that right shin back like a kickstand, but try to keep your shin down just like this. If you want to make it even more spicy, press firmly into the top of your right shin, float your left leg. So we're getting used to having the hips really wide open, being in one plane. Either flex or point the left toes if you can. One more breath. And go ahead and release that left hand down, left leg, left knee to the floor. Okay, so we're going to try this on the left side now. Okay, so this time we'll step the right foot back and rotate your right heel to a 90-degree angle from the left heel. Left hand is in line with your left knee, and then start to reach your right arm up towards the sky. So this is a really wonky way to balance here. If this isn't working, spin your left foot back like we did in the beginning of class to create a kickstand for yourself. Reach that right arm up. If you're feeling brave, feeling spicy, move very slow. Press it to the top of your left shin. Find that counterbalance. Reach the right leg up. Reach the right arm up. Squeeze the glutes to push the hips forward like you did in triangle pose. This will help you with balance. One more breath. Right hand down, right foot down, right knee down. All right, go ahead and tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So we're going to practice moving into our half moon now. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Bend the knee, open the hip. One more time. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Low lunge. Spin the back heel 90 degrees. Coming back up into warrior two. Okay, inhale to reverse warrior. Flip the top hand, shift forward and up. This time as you exhale, instead of going into our flow, take your right hand down to the mat in front of your right foot. If you're not able to reach that, you might want to go grab a stack of books or something just to place under your hand, or you may need to propel a little more. We're going to windmill that right hand in front of the right foot. You can step your left foot a little closer if you need to. And then take a moment, press evenly through your right foot like you did with your shin when we were on the mat. Pressing into the right foot, slowly float the left leg up. Open your hips like we did on the ground. And squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward. If you feel pretty good here in this half moon, you can try to find the traditional expression by hovering your fingers just above the ground. So in the traditional half moon expression, your fingers aren't actually touching the ground. That's pretty hard to achieve. So if that's not where you're at today, that's totally fine. Took me about a year to get that one. Keep your left toes flexed or pointed. Keep that energy moving. Pull your left shoulder back, press your right hip forward. One more breath here. And as you exhale, lower down, forward fold. Bend the knees, slowly roll up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus out the elbows. Inhale, reach. And release down, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, you can take chaturanga or just meet us in down dog. We're gonna get ready to move on to the left side. Inhale, left leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip one more time. Inhale, left leg reaches up. As you exhale, step it through, low lunge. Spin that back heel 90 degrees. Inhale to warrior two. All right, in this warrior two, as you breathe in, flip your top hand, shift forward and up, reverse warrior. And as you exhale, we're gonna do the same entrance. Take your left hand just in front of that left foot. You can shorten your stance as much as you need to. And then float your right leg high. Press evenly through the left foot. And then reach your right arm up towards the sky if you can. This side may balance a little less well than the other side. That's okay. Every day, every side's a little different. Keep squeezing your left glute. Push your left hip forward. And then roll your right shoulder back. And again, if you want to try floating your hands, you can. Oh, buddy, this is not the time. One more breath here. And as you exhale, release it down, forward fold. Whew. All right. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take one more little rinse out here. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, release it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, roll all the way down back into a seat. All right. So now that we've warmed our hips up really, really well, we're gonna practice one more little thing. It's called turtle pose. If you don't get turtle pose today, that's no big deal. You can go back to baby tortoise, or you can take a bound angle like we did earlier in class. But to set up for this pose, you're gonna bring your knees up towards the ceiling. Step your feet slightly apart, okay? So your feet are wider than the hips right now. So this is where the setup gets kind of weird. You're gonna take your arms underneath your knees, and you want to bring your shoulders as low as you can. And then once you have this shape, you can actually just hang out here. This is a pretty nice back stretch. I really like hanging out just in this prep pose sometimes. If you want to go into a full turtle pose, slowly straighten out the legs and bring your chest towards the mat. So you're just letting the chest kind of fall with the legs. If you're looking at this and it looks like a circus pose to you, soles of the feet together, go into your baby tortoise. Okay? Baby tortoise or turtle, either one here. We're just getting that last little bit out of these open hips while we can. All right, begin to slowly unravel your way out. Knees up, hands back. Just kind of windshield wiper side to side for a second. All right, so we did a lot of inner thigh work. We're gonna move into the outside of the hips now. So straighten out your legs. Pull your right knee up towards the ceiling. Bring your right knee to stack over your left, and then pull your right foot back. So you're on the pinky toe side of your right foot. Keep your left leg out in front of you. Bring your hands to frame your left leg. Inhale, lift up, and as you exhale, hinge forward. So you'll feel a stretch in the back of your left leg and on the outside of your right hip. This is half cow face legs. You can just relax your chin. You don't have to reach really far here to feel the stretch. slowly lift up. Shift your weight to the left side. Swing your left heel to the outside of your right hip. So this is full cow face legs. If this doesn't feel good for you, straighten that left leg back out. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge forward, same kind of thing. So you'll feel this in the outside of your right hip most prominently. You may feel it in your hip flexors as well if they're still a little tight. Inhale, slowly lift up. Straighten out your legs. Shake them out, love on your knees. Moving to the other side. Pull the left knee up. Bring your left knee to stack over the right, and your left foot is on its side. So you're on the pinky toe side of your left foot. Breathe in to lift your chest. Frame your right leg with your hands, and then hinge forward at the hips and just relax. Breath, we're going to slowly lift up, moving into full cow face legs. So shift over to the right, bend your right knee, bring your right heel to the outside of your left hip. Again, if this doesn't work with your knees or your hips, you can go back to that half variation and just straighten the right leg out again. Breathe in to lift, and then just hinge forward, kind of drape your body over your knees. As you inhale, slowly lift up. Straighten out those legs. Love on your knees a little bit if you need. I just take my palms and kind of rub the knees out. And then bend your knees up towards the sky. Reach the arms forward. Lower all the way down. All right, we're going to take a quick bridge pose just to stretch out the hip flexors. So press your heels on the floor, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Interlace your fingers underneath your spine if you'd like. And slowly lower the hips down. Pull your knees into your chest. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. And we'll take a Baddha Konasana variation of Happy Baby. So just rock side to side here. You can hold on to the ankles. It should feel good with all the inner hip stuff we did. And then keep the soles of your feet together. Just lay them down on the mat. So we're coming into a reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly, and you can go ahead and shut down the eyes. And just allow yourself to breathe. Notice with every inhale, your chest rises, your belly rises. With every exhale, your belly falls and your chest falls. And allow your breath to slow down. You're more than welcome to stay in this reclined bound angle for the remainder of your meditation. If you would prefer to move into a more traditional Shavasana, extend the arms and legs in opposite directions. Shut down the eyes. And imagine that every sound from the outside world is melting together into a faint hum that is getting softer and softer, until the only thing that you can hear is your own breath. bring life back into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Create small circles on the wrists and the ankles. And gently rock your head side to side. Keeping the eyes closed for the remainder of your practice. As you breathe in, reach the arms overhead, take a good morning stretch. And as you exhale, bring your knees into your chest and roll to your favorite side for fetal pose. Just as our Shavasana corpse pose represents the death of our practice, fetal pose represents rebirth into the world outside, feeling refreshed and renewed. Using your top hand, press yourself up to an easy seat. Once there, reach arms overhead, bring palms to kiss. And lower hands to your heart, tilt your chin. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice. I wish you peace in your thoughts, hearts, and words. I hope you remember there is a silver lining to be found in everything. You just have to look. Bring your hands to your third eye center, that space between the brows. In light and love we bow as we say Namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed today's class. I will be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. for a gentle flow, so something a little bit chiller than we did today. If you guys have any questions about anything we do, you're more than welcome to ask me. You can send me videos about your form. I'm more than happy to answer questions. My Instagram is @showupforlife. All the spaces are underscores, so feel free to hit me up on there. And then I do ask that if you have been affected by this pandemic, keep coming back to pages like this. Summit is partnering with its teachers to bring you guys content so you have something to do while you're at home, so you can still be part of the community in the gym. Just keep coming back. Know that we are here for you and we are doing all we can. And then if you haven't been as financially affected, go buy a shirt from Panectar. They're selling shirts to give Summit something to start up with once the whole world starts turning again. The shirts are pretty cool, so they're bringing back some old designs. All the information for that is on the Summit Instagram page. Erin Neal will be teaching a core class at 7:30, so if you want to get your butt whooped, check that out on this page again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Gentle Flow.